everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're looking at Flight Logmaker 5 Aircraft Creator utility. And this is how you add a new aircraft to the flight planner. So first of all, we're going to start out and we'll just pull up one of the aircraft, and I can show you how I've entered data in. So we're going to find an aircraft. We'll go to Cessna 172 and we'll load that, and then we have to read it. So now everything is populated into the entry fields, and you can see where I've set up Cessna 172N. Now you can type in anything you want here as long as it fits within the field here. And this is just a description of the aircraft, so you can find it in the listing. The actual data file will be Cessna 172.air, and what I do is I'll label it .air so I know it's an aircraft file. So you can see here what I've done is I've created file names for the normal performance data file and above standard and below standard files. So, and you can see what I've done here. Like for the above standard, I put the letter A and then 172 PF, which is performance.dat. Now, all these files have to follow the DOS rules for file names, and that rule is just you can't have more than 8 characters, and I don't think they allow special characters either. So you just have to have 8 or less followed with a dot, and then what I do for data files is I put DAT after it. And it's important to label them in such a way so that you can remember what they are, especially this file here. This .air is almost required. If I click on that, you can see 8 characters max plus .air. Select read to read the existing file. So anyway, then you can set up aircraft and as a high performance aircraft or a normal performance non-complex aircraft. So most of you already know that a non-complex airplane would be a fixed pitch propeller and probably a horsepower of less than 200. Complex, again, we're you're going to set that to on if your airplane has a manifold pressure reading and setting where you can change the pitch on the propeller blade. You're going to put in the total usable fuel for your aircraft, and then the weight and balance center of gravity file. I start out with WB, weight and balance, Cessna 172 dot CGT and CGD, and so center of gravity data. Again, you can do it any way you like, but that's how I do it. And you set that up like that. If you hit save, it would save all this data, but I've already saved it. We just read that from the file. But say we want to create a new aircraft, what you would do is clear the entry file. So you go over here and do that. You'd have to actually clear everything. And I don't have a push button for that yet, but I'm thinking about putting one of them in here. So you can just click on clear fields and it'll clear everything so you can re-enter the new aircraft. If you come in here and say you're looking at some information before you create a new aircraft, you would have to have some way to clear everything. Otherwise, you have to manually go through and clear all of these out. So that's something that's coming in the future when I get time to do it. So anyway, once you've saved this, then all your other file managers know exactly what files to open to find the data that you're looking for. You can set up a template and follow that, and I'll show you what the template looks like here. You can make one of these kind of like spreadsheets out. I have some, but I don't know what happened to them. I'm probably going to make some new templates and then post them or have them available when you download the program. But what you do is you circle one of these uh, files so that you remember this is either above standard, below standard, or normal. And then this particular template is for 3,000 feet. You could change that from 2 all the way up to 12,000, aircraft type and model number. And then what you have is anywhere in here, you're going to set an RPM, a manifold pressure if applicable, uh, a true airspeed, a gallons per hour burn for that power setting, and then your rate of climb. That's going to be the same for all your power settings for this particular altitude. And then the brake horsepower, again, you can just put in the brake horsepower. That's usually found in your performance also. When you put a power setting in, it should tell you that. As you get higher in altitude, you'll find that uh, there will be less and less power settings, especially if you're using manifold pressure. With fixed pitch propellers, there's usually 2 or 3 power settings, even up at the higher altitudes. But with manifold pressure, you're going to find that there's less to choose from, and you might even be just stuck with one power setting. So after you're finished with the normal conditions, then you would calculate the ISA plus 20 Fahrenheit and then do the same for ISA minus 20 Fahrenheit. Altitudes are above sea level, and you'll fill out each template at 2,000 feet MSL and ending with 12,000 feet MSL. After finishing the templates for normal conditions, repeat the same for above and below standard atmospheric conditions as listed above in the note. So this is an example of one template for one altitude. So I wanted to go back and kind of just show you, we've been talking about these different files, and I just wanted to show you how they're laid out. And let's go a little bit smaller. Here we go. So this is the layout of the flight planner, and you'll see everything centers around creating an aircraft. This is defining all your file names for and your fuel capacity and everything for your aircraft. And it just shows you these boxes in the green are the programs that are executable files. So you have your file manager for your performance data, your flight planner, your center of gravity manager for your weight and balance. And then you have your weight and balance program. So the weight and balance uses data that can be edited and created by the CG manager. And the output would be your weight and balance sheet showing your weight and balance for that particular flight. The weight and balance also can take information from your tail number profiles, and those are your saved aircraft. And when you save an aircraft, you're going to select an aircraft to associate it with. And then once you do that, then always whenever you open that aircraft, it knows what center of gravity file and to open. The flight planner can get data from your various flight plans and performance data and create this flight log output. And then this file get utility, what that does is it just allows you to select which aircraft you want to use. It can select flight plans. It can select the tail number profiles that you're going to use with that particular program. So, example, the file manager, you're going to go in here and you're going to use the file get utility. It's just automatic. You don't have to really. But when you select an aircraft to use, you're actually using this program right here, which is a separate program. And what it does is it just creates a file mask for whichever one you're trying to do, so you don't have to type anything in. And that way it'll list all your flight plans, or maybe it'll list all the aircraft that you have available for your flight planner. And this is how all the programs actually tie in together. So these are the aircraft that are created so far to date. So we have the Cessna 152, the 172, the 172 RG, the 182, the 210 M model, A36 Beechcraft, Piper Arrow 3, Piper Warrior 2, the Cirrus SR-20, and the Cessna 310Q model. And so this is actually the PDF file that shows you how to use the flight planner.